Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Mediak. And I had this really elaborate intro planned, and lag ruined it entirely. And now I'm really sad, and we have to go with the boring, normal intro. Up in the top right is your boy Skylar, and then Chandler over here on the left, and then I'm here, Zach, down at the bottom. And we are back to finish off the Smile movies off of Chandler and friend of the cast Mike's request. Chandler, you saw this in theaters, and that's the reason why you wanted us to cover these two movies on the podcast. Is that correct?
Yes, 100% yes.
Okay. So I guess you have to start it off with your opinions on the movie. Did you rewatch it for this,
My
or were you just going off?
I did rewatch it. I
Okay,
did
okay.
rewatch it because I may or
And
may
I
not
think,
have been scared for the first
can you
one.
give a rundown of the movie for everybody who
Yeah, give a
may want
rundown.
to know? Give us a rundown. You've seen it twice now.
Do a
Yeah.
vague one,
Oh.
because if you do a vague rundown for this movie, it'll be the exact same rundown for the previous movie too. So
Right,
it'll
right.
it'll get in the people that that didn't
So
watch the first
if
movie.
you missed our previous episode, don't worry. This is gonna be very similar, maybe perhaps,
Yeah.
perhaps. But I guess
Well,
the
actually, no. I
concept
do think
is
that first Smile episode is a really funny one, and should go back and be listened to, because I don't think the energy, at least from my side, I don't think the energy is that way towards this movie as it was towards the last one.
okay.
You guys should
I'm
definitely go.
excited. I'm excited
Okay,
for that
my dog's now
because
barking. All right, go ahead, Chandler.
whenever
Give us a rundown of
okay,
these movies.
so the movie essentially
No, that's the first one.
goes as such. There's an evil entity who kind of harasses an individual,
Kinda?
and
Yeah, I was gonna say
to
kinda.
some degree, it's kind of creepy. I'd say some would say it's creepy.
Some would say
It's
it's
almost like they're
creepy.
stalking them.
Yeah.
And it just kind of follows you around. It acts as people or pretends to be people you know, makes you think what's real is real, even though it might not be. Puts you on edge. You have no idea what's going on essentially the whole entire movie. Especially this one, more so than the first one. I'd say you have no
Yeah.
idea what's going on. In this
Well,
one.
okay, I kind of disagree with that. I think. Okay, we'll get into it. Keep going with your recap.
No, I think I don't know. I
Go
feel
into your
like half
recap.
this
Go
movie.
finish the
Okay,
recap. What happens?
so if you are being haunted by this evil entity, you have as much as 7 days until you will inevitably die. You can pass it on, but there
You gotta
it
kill.
doesn't
You
really
gotta
work
kill
out so
someone.
often.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta have to kill someone else to pass the curse on to an individual who watches you kill someone.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, after those 7 or 4 days, whatever it takes, eventually the evil entity will open your mouth, split it open like I don't know, a zombie character, who knows, and just kind of get a little cozy on it on the inside. It's a little warm in there probably,
Yeah. He's like.
and
He
then
does a dive.
it causes you to kill yourself in front
Yeah.
of someone else. So then you
Yeah.
pass that curse on.
Yeah.
Actually, the movie.
Okay. And since this is a newer movie that is relatively popular, before we actually get into like talking about it, I am gonna do a spoiler warning, which is something that we don't really do on the Mediac podcast because I always forget. But we're really bad at holding spoilers into the end. So if you don't want to get spoiled about any of the movies we're gonna listen to, just don't.
We've always
Skip
spoiled
to the
movies,
next
to be honest.
segment. Since Skylar hasn't talked at all, that's the warning. End of warning right now. Skylar, I want to hear your opinions right away. I was telling Chandler before the podcast, I'm the most curious about what you think about the movie because of the opinions that me and you shared yet last week.
I didn't like it. I thought it was really bad.
You thought
Well,
it was
not
really
really
bad.
I thought it
Okay.
was bad. I thought it was bad.
I thought
Um,
it was substantially better than the last one. You know?
I disagree.
Really? Actually,
Yeah. Yes.
what?
I think there's two reasons why. Can I give my two reasons why?
Yeah, go ahead.
Good.
There's two scenes with getting stabbed in the eye.
No, I don't like those, but that is not the
You have
reason.
no alibi,
What's
bro.
the second
What's
scene?
your
The
alibi?
first scene is where the mom stabs her eye. What's the other one? I don't remember.
Well, I think
At the end,
at the
the
very
microphone.
end with the microphone.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
I know. I saw him.
Okay, so I think the biggest like thing that I had to wrap my head around and I was okay with one thing that I know Skylar probably wasn't okay with because of what we talked about last week, but I think that the way that it was handled in this movie was much better than last one. And again, spoilers because I'm jumping right into the end on this one here. The fact that the entire end of the movie isn't real. Is that something that you had a massive?
It's
Okay.
so stupid.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
I think that, yes, that's a problem. I think that anytime you have to refer to something like that, where nothing in the last 15 minutes is meant anything really, that's a little bit of an issue. But I think it was a little different in this movie. Chandler, you can still hear me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Skylar lagged for a little bit there, and I was worried. So
No, yeah, we're all good.
I at one point I remember thinking to myself, I wish this was fake because some stuff started to not make sense, and the movie was doing such a good job of making sense up until that point, and I was like, this is crazy. I want it to be fake because I want it to actually start making sense again. But also the beginning part of it was so insane and exactly like weird that I wanted to see out of the last movie, and it does kind of ruin it a little bit that it wasn't real, except for the fact that the movie basically ends immediately after you find out that it's not real. And I think that it doesn't matter at that point because to what's her name? Her mom was dead, and all of that shit did happen to her because she really didn't have any time to process existing. She just popped out of the ball sack and then died. And I'm sorry if that sounds weird. Can you
It
guys agree
does.
with me? It does
Wait,
look like a ball sack, doesn't it? What she comes out of at her
kinda,
thing,
it looked like a cocoon to me.
kind of look like a ball
I
sack.
didn't see that. I wasn't looking hard enough, to be
I'm
that's
honest.
gonna be
that's
honest, that was
It was
not the
like a
main
ball
focus
sack.
of what I was looking at.
that is
Let
very.
me pull that up real quick. Just zoom
Chandler's
in
just
on it.
gonna actually. I'm gonna zoom in on that. But I thought that here's the thing. I wasn't in love with it. Whenever that happened, I was like, all right, interesting. I think I like it better. I dislike it for the same reasons, but I also think it was a little lame. It, Chandler, is that where
I,
you
like,
and
I actually hit, like, a frown. Like, I
really
actually
you
hit a
hit a hard
frown. The
frown?
second it was like, "Oh, Sky, none of this is real," and then instant frown.
Really?
This like, instant frown. I hated
I'm
it.
gonna try to recreate what face I made. I think I made one of these. I was like,
I went,
oh, that fucking sucks, dude. Chandler,
Michael's and
was
my
this where
reaction
you
was the
and Mike were
opposite.
arguing about?
They're like,
You did you
um,
what did one of you guys think
so
that the mom was
what we
dead?
were arguing about, no. What we were arguing about is two things that were both wrong. One, I was in denial. So I was just blatantly wrong. I was in denial about something. I wanted something to be true when
What
it
was it?
was obviously fake. You know that guy that kind of came in with all that exposition dump? Like that
Yeah,
was definitely fake.
hundred
Like I
percent
should
fake, bro.
feel,
Hundred
but I
percent
wanted to
fake. Yeah.
believe like there was a way for her to survive. I wanted
Why,
to believe that
dude? I wrote
because
down at one
I'm a
point.
sucker.
All right, everyone. I'm sorry for taking a break on that. It's not going to seem like anything except for the fact that we're just stopping in the middle of the sentence and then starting right here. Chandler, you remember you were
Yes.
we okay? Yeah, you could go ahead. Go.
So Michael and I, we were kind of arguing about two things.
Okay.
One, I was just blatantly wrong. I was in denial. I thought that the guy who provided the exposition dump,
Right. Okay. We talked
who
about this a little bit.
whose like sibling had broken his jaw with like the crowbar,
Yeah.
that guy. I wanted to believe that he was real
Yeah.
and like he was actually trying to help out Riley, like Sky
Right.
Riley.
But it doesn't make
But
sense for him to have known that information that he did, you know?
yeah, but I thought that him because like he only knew that information because of the cop, right?
What about
He
the
was in
no, but the
ties.
dying thing? But how does he know about killing it?
Um,
Because
I
he's
think
fake.
maybe he was just talking to a cop, and I kind of thought that you could reason that out.
Fair.
Like it
Okay.
makes sense. It makes sense.
It
Like
does make
killing
sense.
yourself
Yeah.
so the entity can't kill you. So I was just like, okay, they must have just thought of like, how can I not have the entity win it? So
Right.
I somehow made it real in my head, but I was blatantly wrong. I agree with Michael that I was wrong. He, though, on the other hand, forgot that you could pass the curse. He forgot
Oh,
about
by
that
killing
entirely.
someone?
Yeah, so when I tried telling you about that at the very beginning. On he thought the cop still had the curse, and he died with it by the
Uh,
truck, but that kid got the curse.
yeah.
So there was just some confusion there. But
Yeah.
really, there we were just both kind of stupid.
Shit just happens, man. Sometimes you just don't memorize an entire movie on your first go. Nothing's wrong
Yeah,
with
well,
it.
we really forgot the first one, except I just remembered that one thing that you could pass it on. I thought that was so
Right.
cool. Well, I'm done with what I had to say, but I want to like bring up something that we kind of talked about last movie when
Last
I
week,
kind of
the
teased
beginning of the movie,
that when I
I was
teased that the cop
disappointed.
was going to be in it.
I was
You said
disappointed.
like, "Is he gonna do what I think he's gonna do?"
He didn't do what I thought he was going to do. I thought he was going to do something that I'm not even going to say on the podcast because I think it's too controversial of a topic to even
Mm,
bring up, let alone God bless you, Skylar. Let
Close.
alone like
That was
have
not
it
a
in a
sneeze.
movie. It was so controversial that I didn't I refused to believe like whenever I thought about it that it was going to be in a movie, and I was right. It's not in a movie, but that scene is actually a very solid opening. Like I was hooked on it honestly more than the first movie's opening, and I thought the first movie had a pretty solid opening up until he got hit by the car, and then I was like, okay, I'm out.
It was so gory though. It
It
was
was
so
gory,
gory.
but like
I was not expecting that.
I just was like, all right.
Like the
I,
bro, like Michael and I were talking about it. He had to have seen that truck. I
yes,
know he's
there's
getting
no
shot.
way he did
No,
not.
you don't
Or
hear the
heard
truck.
it.
Yeah, exactly, Skylar. Yeah, that
Yeah,
that
so that didn't make
moment
sense.
that moment made me be like, okay, fuck this, dude. But I actually really enjoyed the opening, specifically that
What?
the where he was walking in and he like turned to the left and the lady was on fire, and I was like, oh look, there's Rose,
Yeah,
and I was
yeah.
I was like, that's nice, that's cool. Um, I just thought it was a better put together movie. Not scary at all. Like the first
Mhm.
movie, it just wasn't scary. Which leads me to a question that I wrote down before the podcast. Skylar might have guessed it, but I have a question for both you guys. Who was the funniest smile in the movie? Skylar, was that what you thought I was gonna ask?
Oh, I know who it is. I know who it is.
What is it? Who?
Like little girl, bro.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was her mom, dude. Her mom could not smile in a funny way, in a scary way at all. She didn't have any teeth. She just
I
went,
thought it was the one like guy side like I forget what they call it. The one guy like helper secretary.
oh yeah,
Whenever he was
okay.
like walking past her in the hall,
Right. Okay.
that was
Yeah.
that
That one
was
actually was
pretty.
pretty good. Yeah. Okay. That's fair. But we all in agreement that the smile is not scary, right? It's like it's
It's
just
not.
not. It's not scary. That scene, dude. The scene where they were doing the performative dance in the wall.
That was cool though.
That was
That was
fucking funny,
cool.
dude. That was.
It was cool. It was
I
like
didn't like it.
It
it
was.
moved in. It was
It was
kind
an
of cool.
interesting thing for them to have choreographed. Yeah.
Yes.
But they wanted it to be scary,
You know what I
and
wrote
it
that
just
down as?
wasn't. Huh?
It reminded me of zombies mode, where if you look at the mannequins, they don't move, but if you look away, they start
Right.
moving.
Yeah, I know
That's
what you're
what I
talking
thought
about.
that
Yeah.
was kind of cool. So I
It did
like
kind
that.
of look like that, yeah. And there's something in Doctor Who called Weeping Angels that's similar to what that is. So anyone who gets that reference will
Never seen
understand it.
Doctor Who.
Doctor
I
Who's
know
great.
it's a
They
lot.
also
That's why I never got into it.
they've referenced Weeping Angels in a million things, and that's probably actually what that was. One thing I definitely say about this movie is that it is longer, not by a lot, by 8 minutes, but it feels way quicker because I think it feels quicker, Skylar, because
I didn't.
you could disagree obviously, but she doesn't get the curse until 30 minutes into the movie, so there's less time that we are with her where we have to watch the same thing that we watched in the first movie. And I feel like that first 30 minutes, most of it was pretty interesting, so I was kind of with it for the for that bit. Uh, uh, I'm looking at my notes and trying to find what I didn't like about it, and it's mainly just kind of chalks up to that end bit and the fact that the idea itself I'm not a huge fan of. I remember showing. I think I showed Chandler and Kyle it. I don't remember if I showed Skylar it, but there's something on YouTube called the Mandela Catalog, which is just a better version of Smile, where it's a demon that tortures you until you kill yourself. But in Smile, it's more like even though both deal with like demons, it feels more mythical and not interesting because it's like this curse is making you go insane. But in the Mandela catalog, there's no like time limit. It's not like 1 week. This demon could just be torturing you for a year, and he just is always there 24/7 fucking with you until you kill yourself, and that's the only option that happens. He'll just keep dicking with you no matter how smart or strong you feel like you are. It's not some sort of magic breaking you down, it's just your own like mental state, and that's so much more interesting than some sort of demon curse to me. And that kind of is where I checked out of the movie at multiple points because I never felt any tension with her and that. I don't know about that. I don't know about Chandler. Chandler's different with immersion whenever it comes to things like this.
Mhm.
Skylar,
I thought the entity looked goofy. It
it
looked
did look
so.
so funny, bro. It looked hilarious. I
It had like
giggled at
bulbs
that.
for eyes too. What was that about?
I think the eyes was that. I think that was supposed to like answer the question that we had last week about your eyes locking. and especially the part where she goes,
Mm,
"Look at me," because after she like forced her to look at her, she couldn't move at all.
mhm,
And I was like, okay, so that definitely confirmed our theory from last
mhm.
week about that, which is really
Yeah,
neat.
it did.
I enjoyed that aspect of it and how they added to it. Skylar, I want to hear more of why you didn't like this movie.
Well, first, I thought they did like a good build up for this cop idea. And
Right.
I think they did really good at starting out with it. And then they killed it in
I
15 minutes.
know.
And I was like, what? Like, I think they should have gone with the cop idea.
Yes,
Like,
where
that
he
was
was like
so much
trying
more
to
exciting.
save the next person, once he's alive. He's like, I'm alive now and I know who it is, so we're going to try to stop this thing. That's what I thought it was going to be, the movie. I was disappointed.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be something along those
God bless
sorry,
you. Skylar's sick.
something yes. I thought it was gonna be something along those lines. So, um, I really liked the cop idea, and then they killed him. And then, um, and then they, like, transitioned to, like, the drug, which I mean, I kinda like the connection between the cop and then the guy who to get to the famous
Yeah.
person. And I like the idea of having it as a famous person because it's, like, extra pressure, extra stress, you see more people.
Yeah. And you
So,
actually
I felt
can worry about the insanity of it because with Rose, there's no tension because the only one you worried about was her. And you're like, oh, it's a
mhm,
fake thing. So I don't have to worry about if other people think she's insane. But there's an image on Sky. So now we're like, okay, so the entire universe is seeing this. And we now have to worry about how she's perceived in this image. And I don't think it makes it scarier, but it definitely increases the like, what's the word I wrote down for it? Like secondhand embarrassment of this movie.
Oh, I cringed so
um,
hard during your speech. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
dude, it was so
yeah,
cringe. Most of the things that happened to her, I just were like, fuck. I'm not watching
yeah,
this movie again for that reason because it's awkward.
um, and then I also wrote down that they still have the jump scare problem from the last one
Of
where
course they do.
everything is completely cut and it's completely silent, and,
Yep.
like, they're gonna open up a
Bless you.
door. Thank you. And it's like, "Oh, I wonder what's gonna happen." And then,
Or they're standing there in the
God.
middle of the room and they're like, and it's been quiet
like,
for over 45 seconds, so you know it's going to come.
I'm just gonna give, like, a general overview of, like, my frustrations with this movie because I really like the ideas they had. They were
Yeah.
just executed so poorly, and
Yeah.
it was, like, actively frustrating me because I was like, "Okay, cop, great idea. Famous person, great idea." But I was like, "Too bad that, like, this one's, like, half reality, half not," since they already explained that it's completely reality in the last one.
Whoa, what the heck are you
I
doing with
don't know how I
that
always
guy?
do that. But,
I
Yeah,
think that
that's what did
Skylar,
that.
in all honesty, I think that the biggest it wasn't real moment that is more annoying is towards the beginning of the movie with everything with the girl that she's friends with and her showing up.
Gemma.
Yeah, because
That was
that
crazy.
that kind of ruins one of like a scare earlier on in the movie. I didn't think it was actually scary. I did write down shit stained undies because they had to
Yeah.
focus on that for a moment, and I thought that was really funny.
That was another one. Why did he never pop up again?
Well, yes, I agree with that. They really intended. They showed him. They had a focus on him, like he was going to be there and do something bigger. But they also,
Yeah.
I thought it was like, oh, it's whatever. It's cut away because her friend's here now. But now her friend never was there. So why'd the demon stop torturing her just to make the friend come in for like three
I,
hours to torture her again? What?
Yeah.
I think it's just to never let her feel safe and always on edge. Like
But
I
she did
wrote
let her
down that
feel safe for that moment.
Yeah.
yeah, get her
Maybe like
hopes
an
up and
extra
then just destroy him again. Like it really fucked with her. It
oh,
it it enjoyed fucking with her, and it
But
did it the
I'm gonna
whole
be
time.
honest. You know what's better than like giving someone hope? Fucking with them the entire time. Like I feel like what did they?
I don't know. I don't
I
know.
understand that side of the argument. I just don't like it.
See, like that guy that came in with all that exposition,
Yeah,
he was more hope,
yeah, and
and
I don't
then
like that. In all
yeah,
honesty, like I'm not a fan of
oh.
that. Like I just
So, I'll say I was a fan of, like, the Gemma twist. Thought it was
okay.
interesting.
It's different. Yeah,
Um, because it was, like because you constantly saw her, like, texting and calling her and never got a response back, but you always kinda figured, "Oh, she, like, probably responded in the time we
right,
weren't looking or called back in the time
right.
when we weren't looking." And, and then you got, like, the one voicemail at the end, it's like, "Hey, sorry I missed this, don't know, like, why you're texting me all this," and then you see, like, her look over. Like, that I thought that was a
Yeah.
good mm, good twist. Yeah, I didn't expect it. Um, but like half of like I like that idea, but the Gemma idea, and I thought that one was pretty well done. I didn't like the exposition guy that you're talking about.
Dude, the
Um,
second he said Pizza Hut, I knew for a fucking fact that he was fake because he's not. This movie takes place in a different town than the last movie. He's not just going from town to town running Pizza Huts. You know, like
yeah.
that 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 just
Well,
doesn't happen.
I think the most suspicious part was saying you can't open the door from the inside, which
Well, yeah, but
Yeah.
the
I don't know
Pizza
if
Hut
that's
thing happened
true.
before that.
Yeah.
Right,
It,
but I'm
it
saying like with that
yeah,
door, I don't know if that's true. I'm pretty sure most of them like are
I don't think it's
mandated
true
that you
either.
have
But
to be
like,
able to open them.
yeah,
It was broken. I
if
know
you
that
didn't
for
realize it was fake at that moment, then you need to watch a couple more movies.
Um,
damn.
and
Oh,
what was the
I forgot. Sorry, Chandler.
That is brutal.
Hey, you're watching a couple more movies. That's good. We're getting you.
I got it second time, all right. I got it
You
the
did,
second.
yeah. I'm proud of you. Wait, what? Of course you got it the second time. It was spelled out to you
that
at the
was the
end.
that was the joke.
Oh, right.
Um,
Okay. Yeah. No, over my head. I'm an idiot too. Yeah.
uh,
Should we give Skylar a medal just because he didn't embarrass himself right there?
um,
I was
and
embarrassed. I
then
didn't embarrass myself. I
Yeah,
was
dude. And
just
then
embarrassed.
I immediately I called you out and then immediately embarrassed myself. So that's double egg on my face.
um,
Go ahead,
so
Skylar.
I'm
Skylar's
gonna
been trying to say
keep
something for
going.
the last 20 minutes.
I don't like how in this movie we know so much less than in the first movie. Like
Explain.
the people in the movie have like in the last movie thorough explanation
Yeah.
of demon, found out how to kill demon, used resources to find demon, and then a person with more power, more resources can't figure out anything,
I
and like
like that though. I actually thought that one makes sense and two is interesting because I thought
well,
remember one of my complaints from last week was the more they explained it, the less interesting it was because you have to make all the characters abide by the rules. But if they just don't know the rules, then they don't have to abide by them.
but in the last movie they made all the rules, and in the new movie they're not abiding by any of them.
Well,
So
yeah,
why make
but
the rules?
they made the rules so that the audience knows them, and then whenever you watch her break a rule, you're like, "Ooh, fuck, dude, she shouldn't have done that," but she didn't know she shouldn't have done that. Like, I actually thought
Um,
that was actually kind of a good. If they explained it again, I would have kind of rolled my eyes and been like, "All right, we've already seen this before."
it's not that they needed to explain it again. It was the fact they like a consistency. Like everybody like in a way, like this movie is if this movie came first and then the first smile is second, it
I
would be like, oh, going from knowing nothing, there's a natural progression of getting closer.
I agree with that. I do think that it
So
would
like
have been more
this one
interesting to have
feels
it in the
wrong.
other way, but
It feels out of order.
I
And
I think it does feel out of order, but I do think that if you do it the way that you do it, this is the best way to do it because you can't do it twice. You know, you got to do it either second or first. The right way probably to do it is second, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
and then my other like gigantic like gripe is that so it's person has to watch person die.
hmm
What if it's thousands of people watch one person die? Is it now everybody? Or
I
is it
think
one person?
I
That's
think
gonna
it's
be
the
choosing.
first person that saw.
I don't know.
That's so
I
dumb
don't. I
though.
don't. I don't
Why?
agree because they all watch. They
Well,
all
yeah,
watch.
but if
If
you're looking at the crowd, they weren't staring.
Some of them were like, "Yes, I do understand that,"
Yeah,
but
but you have to stare for it to pass.
I choose to believe they're all infected.
I
I
choose
choose
to
to believe
believe
it.
that he fed off of all of their trauma, but he's only going in one. Because if he just infected like, first up, okay, I have a genuine question. Who the fuck wants to see a smile 3? Raise of hands right now. Go.
I didn't even want to after now knowing what this movie is, I wouldn't want to
Yeah,
see a smile
Chandler,
too.
I
you
no,
don't
I
feel peer
don't know.
pressure. You can
I
actually
think this
raise
was
your hand.
really good, and it was so. Anything can go for the third. I'm okay. Personally, I thought it was good,
Okay.
but anything can go for the third one.
I hope they never touch this franchise again, but I guarantee they will. I just don't think it would
made
be
so much money.
interesting because I think this movie is the Joker. You know, it's more interesting when you don't address it, and with the second you address it, it's going to make it not interesting. Because I think it's cool that we can have this discussion where we're like, oh, there's a universe where 100,000 people just got it, and now 100,000 people have a week before they kill themselves, and either it's going to spread and keep growing in a massive scale, or everyone's gonna find out about it and just murder this 100,000 people. And like that's kind of there's more ways it can go with that, or just one person got it and 100,000 people are traumatized. I I think that's fun that we can have that discussion, but choosing one of those paths is
Yeah.
gonna ruin it.
I just don't
I
think they can
do
do a third
agree.
one though, because the whole concept of this movie and last movie was that like you can't actually kill it.
Yeah,
We've
so
tried to
it's
tell you
not gonna be
can't.
interesting anymore because you know what the ending is gonna be. It's just gonna be
That's
like,
not all about
alrighty,
this one. They still made this like I think what we are forgetting to mention is how creative the film was. I don't think we brought that up
It
yet.
was creative.
It
I
was
just said I liked the ideas,
creative.
just poorly executed.
I think that the first movie was more creative. I think that the
Really.
cinematography in
Mm.
the first movie was better. And like what part
I have
of
to
this
disagree
movie
on
did you
that.
think was? I thought that the writing was better in this movie, without a doubt. Everyone talked like normal people, unless they were an imaginary person,
But,
obviously, and everything was tight and cohesive. And I thought that
hmm
her trauma made more sense for her to be
hmm
insane currently than the
hmm
last girls, because she kind of just went from a doctor who had childhood issues to being insane the very next day. Well, she was literally going through current issues and then became insane, and it just felt
Yeah.
better that way.
Well,
But
he
I
was
don't
also coming over from being insane.
exactly, yeah. So it
hmm
made sense
Well,
and felt right and was more not relatable but more understandable, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think
I
anything
What
would
was
about
like
agree with Cameron.
creative
I
outwardly though, other
I
than
think I think the ideas in this one were great.
I,
I mean, start off with the cop and then kind of lead everybody to think one idea, kind of switch it. Don't like that idea, but it is a creative one, I can say.
I
Picking a drug dealer to then give it to a very famous person, and then
okay, the
the
famous
different
person is
incorporations
interesting, yeah.
the different incorporations of the famous person and how the smile appears throughout it, like at the photo booth, like having one
Right.
walk away and then one like directly in front of her, freak her out, have her like recollect herself and go back out to like keep maintaining like continuity of her image
Right, and
the
it's a little
entire time.
child. I liked
Um,
how accurately they showcased famous people, because sometimes in movies they don't do it like how it really would. But for example, if someone normally like passes out and has to go to the hospital, they're just in a normal hospital room with everyone else. But with her, she was in some sort of like 5 star. I know it was in her mind, but it's what really would
mhm.
have happened. We're 5 star hotel with really fancy bed and nice everything. I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
what I
Yeah.
meant by creative is something that Michael and I collectively agreed on was some of the scenes. Uh, Seeing her dance recital, uh, then her spinning around like a clock,
Okay.
her those photo shoots, and the everything to do with the car scene, them driving and like fighting each other. We thought those were all so great. I
Oh,
thought those were all creative.
the camera movement was really interesting with that. I enjoyed that quite a lot. That honestly was probably the only scene that impressed me cinematically this time, which I was really disappointed in because I thought the cinematography in the first movie was magnificent. Like
It,
I was blown away with how the movie looked in the first one, but I just didn't like anything else about it, really. And this kind of was like a little bit of the opposite. Well, not fully because there's a lot else I didn't like about this movie, but I was really disappointed with that.
I just maybe I thought it was creative because I don't think I've seen a movie
No,
that's
no, no.
the life of
It can
like
be
an
like this.
artist.
The choreography was like 100% good. Like all of her dance sequences that she had, and even to the like wall crawling and the weird guys. That's all great. I just felt like the camera was either like stationary like this on some sort of tripod and moving around, or upside down and
Mhm.
stationary moving around. And I felt like they did more stuff with the camera in the first movie. In this one, they had that really cool back and forth talking, but at the end of the day, it's still a camera on a tripod
Yeah,
that they're just spinning back and forth.
I like the one where they like she tilted her head in front of the mirror and like behind her it also
Mhm.
tilted the head.
Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of that
In
was
the
a little
dressing room.
creepy.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah.
At
That
the
was pretty
beginning, right?
creepy.
At the beginning of the movie, ish.
Yeah, beginning half whenever she's
Okay.
trying on the costume for the first
Oh,
time.
yes. Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a good one. That
Yeah,
was a good
yeah,
point out.
true, true statement there. And then there was another camera moment I did like, and I feel bad not mentioning it, but I forgot to write it down. And I feel wrong just being like I didn't like the cinematography and then not remembering the one moment I did like. But over, and I didn't. It's not that I didn't like it. I just thought I was disappointed from the first one because I had such high expectations on that aspect of it.
What about the practical effects? I think they were
bad,
really
dude.
good.
I
You didn't
think
like it?
that well, I think that the like gore was good, but I
The gore was good.
I'm losing focus. I
I
like the
couldn't.
guy with the metal plate, like his whole face just kind
Oh
of
yeah.
falling apart. I thought that all looked really good.
I
I thought
also
that
like
looked
how
good.
robotic they all move
Good.
too. Like whenever they're infected, I think that's pretty neat. I think that's cool.
Mm.
Um,
Shows a
Like
bit
how
of
they kind of just like,
yeah, like,
yeah.
voof, 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 like
oh,
yeah.
and then the falling down.
Oh yeah, yeah. Everything about it is really neat. What would you do if you were at a concert and someone stabbed their eye out with the microphone?
The
I would.
second I saw them go close to their eye, I'm probably already turning around. So
Yeah, it's
like
speed. Dunk. You wouldn't be able
out of
to.
those, no, it was like multiple. Then you
Yeah,
like
yeah.
there's like
On the first one, you wouldn't. You'd have
if I
to see
saw
the
them
first
start
one.
going like this, I'm probably already turning
Yeah,
around.
you're gonna be like, oh fuck. Whoop.
I was like,
But
Turn
you're
the.
already like in that trance. If we choose to believe they all were infected,
I don't choose to believe that.
you're lost, guy.
I
You're
choose to believe
yeah,
that.
I don't know
100%.
which one to believe. So there is a chance I am forced to
I,
watch.
th-
That would
Dude,
be
the
terrible.
second
like
this okay,
other
first off, can I say I actually really love how we didn't see her do it because like
yeah.
it like
Cool.
oh I thought you were laughing. I was like, what the fuck was that,
Yeah.
Skylar?
Guy got to miss out. You
No,
got to see the
sorry.
after effect.
Because like I thought they were because in this movie they love to show the gore. That's the scary part of this movie was showing the gore. But seeing the reaction of the audience was so much
Yeah, that
better
was
to
so
me. I
cool. It
really
was
like
so
that.
I
cool.
agree.
Yeah,
I very much like that decision.
yeah. I very
Huge fan.
yeah.
Guys,
He's
like,
a
I
big
wish we didn't
fan.
see how she looked regardless. I wish we
Right.
just never.
The second
Yeah,
I
I wish
started,
they kept it on the audience.
the second I
Right.
heard her start doing
No
it, I
one
was like,
even
I'm
turned
looking at
around.
this audience here, and I need to make sure if anyone turns away, then I know that it was one person or some sort of
Um,
extra having an issue.
you know what?
The
I
people
will
that they
say everybody
cowered, I will
else
say, a
em
couple of them
Yeah.
were
everybody else already kind of embarrassed himself by not knowing. Whenever I was at that part, I was like, "What could she possibly be doing? What could she have?" And then, yeah, my dumbass forgot they have a microphone,
That's
at a
not okay.
concert,
In
and I
your
just
defense,
assumed it was a
Skylar.
headset one.
Oh yeah, that would have. In your defense here, I thought to myself, is she actually gonna bash in her head with a microphone? I feel like that's not like
you could
a
hear the squishing though. Like you could
yeah.
hear the squishing through the microphone.
Yeah, but I feel like she would have destroyed that definitely, like big time. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not a
um,
durable enough of a device. Is it? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe
Metal.
Skylar, you should try jamming a microphone into your head and then get back to me
yeah.
on whether or not it'll break the microphone.
Alright, I'll get on it ASAP. I'll let
You
you know next week
okay?
on the next
Thank you.
Mediak
Next
podcast. Yeah,
next
we're
week
like
for our movie Santa Claus 1.
yeah, whenever you see a gigantic if you see a gigantic microscope or, microphone right here,
Stick
No,
it
you'll
down.
know it
For all media hackers, I'm not actually. I'm 100% being serious with that. By the way, our next episode is Santa Claus 1. We're going through the Santa
confirmed.
Claus movie.
what a
Not
change
quite
up.
Christmas.
I
but
know
it's
what a change up, big time. Yeah, it's really funny.
Um,
Big pause. Skylar said, I was waiting for
yeah,
him.
I'm just gonna say this, like, off of the beginning. The more because I watched this movie Tuesday night,
Alrighty.
so the more I thought about this movie, the more I hated it.
Hated it.
Like, the more
Interesting. Okay.
yes, it
like you
soured
said,
in my
I
mind
let it
so
all
bad. I
fester.
had a number, next day, lowered it.
And
Had a number, like, this morning, lowered it.
I don't know if that's
Like,
how it works though. 'Cause I feel
and
like
I
you're
mean,
explaining it
it's not like I
faster
watched
so
it
than
again.
so before we go into the number, I just have a general question. Do you think this is worse than the first one?
Yeah.
Really? Huh.
Yeah, I said that earlier.
Oh,
I
okay.
like the
Sorry.
ideas.
Long work day.
I like
Tired.
the idea much more. I think they have much better ideas, but they don't do any of them well. So it just kinda,
Skylar.
like, frustrates me.
So Skylar, would you then, instead of calling this movie Smile 2, decide to call this movie Smile Poo, or Smile Do, as in Smile Doo Doo, or Smile Shoe, as in I'm gonna throw a shoe at whoever made the movie,
No,
or
it's Smile
Smile.
Boo.
Oh, dude, I was getting to that one.
Yeah.
That's on the list.
Smile
Don't
Boo.
worry. Or Smile Glue, as in I want to pour glue in the hair of whoever wrote this movie. Or Smile Goo, same thing as the one I just said
Oh,
up there. Or Smile Honk Shoe, as in I would rather be sleeping than watching this
or
movie
Smile
right
Hawk 2.
now. No,
Sorry.
stop. No,
Gotta walk right
Uh,
through that one.
that
Zach.
was
I will
bad.
say, one thing that I did like that we did forget to mention, and I just remembered, was, she had, like, her own way to relieve stress,
Oh
like,
yeah.
2 different ways.
Yeah.
Drinking the water and pulling out her hair.
Yeah, interesting to
Oh,
see that.
smart.
Yeah, and in the last one, there was really no like nothing
Yeah.
that the girl did to like be like, okay, whenever I'm really overwhelmed, I need to
Oh
do
yeah.
this.
Well,
Before she's like, I need to get to the bottom of this.
you're
And
right. Actually, it would make sense for that therapist to have some sort of calmer. Well, she's not a therapist. She's a doctor.
A
She's a
coping mechanism.
psychiatric doctor.
yeah, you
You'd
should
think
have
that
had
she'd have some
something.
sort of coping mechanism.
Yeah.
I would like to say I wrote down all of these before I watched the movie because I was anticipating I would not like it.
Mm.
So
Oh,
yeah, but
I had a
how
sorry,
do you
what?
write down notes about a movie before you watch the
No,
movie?
not the notes. The smile poo, smile do, smile
Uh,
shoot.
yeah.
oh,
All
one
of
of
those.
those.
Yeah, all of
Okay,
those.
I'm talking
Okay,
about the water bottle more specifically. Why was it glass?
because it's
That looked
Voss.
so. Oh, is it? Oh, really?
Yeah,
they said it was a different brand in the movie. They didn't say Voss. They said something else.
Oh, it just looked
Voss.
plastic to me. Like
I think it was Voss. Um,
Voss.
I don't remember, but
Alrighty, do you guys want to say your numbers now?
I,
yeah, Chandler, go first.
Chandler
This
goes
was
first.
um,
I'm gonna guess he said a 7.5.
I'm
solid
gonna say higher
9.
than that.
9.
No,
9.
nine.
It was higher in theater. It was higher in theater actually. I
What the
almost
fuck
called
are
it.
you on?
I almost gave it a
No,
10.
Chandler. I like Chandler, buddy. We're
This
friends.
is a
Okay,
9, bro.
you
It's a
know
9.
that, Chandler. You know
Wait,
we're
what?
friends. Okay, you
Yeah,
know we're good.
Chandler,
We're.
Chandler,
I
Chandler.
invited you onto the
Chandler.
podcast because I figured that you had really good opinions. Um,
I
what the
Wow,
fuck, dude?
harsh.
knew I was gonna be defending myself on this film. I
Um,
still stand by everything that I've said. I think it
Chandler,
Fair.
was
I
there
mean,
is
okay. Here's the thing.
I
Chandler
think,
likes horror movies more than we do because he actually gets scared in them. You know, like we don't. We're
right,
sitting there
right,
just like blank faced the entire time, like a
right. You
fucking.
guys are picking out its flaws,
Yeah,
and I'm there
we're
like,
sitting there like
what's
like
gonna
like
happen next?
Scrooge, but for Halloween, and we're just sitting there like that's not scary. That doesn't make sense. This movie fucking sucks. I'm kidding. I don't think this movie fucking sucks.
no. I don't think this movie is the worst thing I've ever seen, but it is certainly far from the best I've ever seen.
That's definitely true. Yeah.
There is no way you sat across from me at that table at Applebee's thinking in your mind this was a 9 or a 10 looking at me. There is no way,
Solid
Chandler.
9.
There is no
Solid
way.
9. I still can't. Every single time you said it has great, what was you saying?
Ideas.
Great
Great
ideas,
ideas,
but
bad
like,
execution.
I just, I would actually cringe every single time you said that because I couldn't see it. I just couldn't see that. So, but
I
that's
So
do
a
think
there,
good take.
I kind of disagree with Skylar a little bit. I think some of a lot of the ideas are executed really well. I just there's one idea that we don't like that I mean, okay, here's the thing. I like whenever it's hard to tell what makes sense and what doesn't in a movie cuz that's fun. Like the lighthouse, that's the entirety of what the lighthouse is. But just everything that happens in this series just doesn't feel rewarding at all whenever you watch it happen.
I guess since it's a horror movie, I'm okay with it. I do agree that like if it's not real, then like what was the point of it?
No,
But
but that's
if
not
it's
necessarily
as a horror
like
movie,
I
I'm
don't
okay with it.
I don't think I agree with that because in the lighthouse, like the audience and also the people within the movie don't know what's real and what's not real. But we have definitive answers within this franchise, you know, that kind of
Mhm.
ruins it, you know?
I
Because
have
it.
another
Go
question.
ahead,
Are
yeah.
we calling it, is your number based off of horror movies only or all movies?
All
Like a
movies.
9 out of 10
All
among all
movies.
movies?
Give me a 9 out of 10. Yeah.
Okay, so like among horror movies,
It's
this is
like,
basically the pinnacle.
cause like when I guess so. Yeah, I guess I'd say it's up there. Um, I haven't seen too many horror movies, but uh,
Okay.
the first movie I watched it 3 times. That was the third time I've watched it,
Hmm.
and it was unbearable. Like I wanted to take 6 pauses,
Right.
but I had to watch it in one playthrough. This one, I was actually able to watch it completely one time.
Th-
Although I was like multitasking, I was like doing things because it's been so recently since I've seen it. Like,
right. You just saw it in theaters. I understand that.
right, so
That
I
makes
didn't have
sense.
an issue with it.
I do think this movie went by like it's I do think it's leagues better. It actually works as a watchable movie that you don't get bored. Apart from Skylar, sorry, me and Chandler. I'm gonna talk to Chandler on this moment. I know Skylar heavily disagrees with what I'm about to say next, but I think it works as a movie way better than the first one. You're not bored. You're interested slightly in what's going on because I feel like you can understand and relate to Sky a little bit more. It just I don't know. It doesn't hit I don't know. It's not a movie for me. I think because I think this is significantly better than the last movie. I think the last movie is an unwatchable horror movie to me, but I think most horror movies are unwatchable. I if someone that really likes horror movies wanted to put Smile 2 on, I'm probably not gonna get upset about it, you know. But I'm not putting it on ever.
I think that's fair. I think you just don't like the concepts behind it.
I don't. No, I don't. Yeah, that really is what it is. Because I think
So Zach, what's your number?
it's a 7. No, it's a 6. It's a 6. Because fuck, it's a 6.5. It's a 6.5. Final answer. Doubling down, 6.5. Because it does objectively work. It's a movie that's relatively tight. It makes you question things, even if I don't like how it does it, because you can't show me two sides of a coin and then not two sides of a coin, two options, and then outwardly say option A is right. We just showed you option B for the fuck of it, you know? Like, I'm not a fan of that. But it objectively is a way to tell a movie that works. So I can't take any points off of that. I just don't like it. It's a 6.5. Way better than the last one. What did I give the last one, Skylar? Do you remember? I'm bumping the last one down. If I give it a 4, it's now a 3. If I gave it a 3, it's fine at a 3.
I forget.
You're up. It's at a 3 now. Smile 1's at a 3. Smile 2 is 6.5.
What's your
Okay.
sky?
So again, didn't really like this movie. I kind of slightly disagree with Zach in the fact that I think
Slightly.
if somebody it is slight. I think if somebody's gonna watch either 1 or 2, it's gonna be 1 because it's at least the intro to the movie. I can at least say like, hey, once you finish, just don't. Like this is it.
I don't.
This is it for the franchise. This is all. It's just meh, and then just give up. Like just stop there. And that's kind of what
I
I'm
do think
gonna
that the
do.
common consensus. I don't know for certain. My brother and G use social media more than me, so they have an idea of what people like think about this. And whenever I told both of them we were doing this movie on the podcast, they said, "Oh, people don't like that one, right?" And I'm like, I don't.
Yeah, what? And then we said this
the second
movie
one
didn't make budget.
I heard it was better. I heard people like it more.
Really, again, I don't use
I thought this
social
movie
media,
didn't
so
make
I don't
budget.
know.
Huh?
I don't think it did.
I thought
No.
it was like, yeah, I thought it was like 28, only made 20.
I heard it made
Something
over
like that.
100.
It probably made budget it probably didn't make budget in the opening weekend. It's so unbelievably rare that a horror movie does not make its budget back because of how cheap they are. I'm gonna look that up real quick. Skylar, do you want to go into your number?
Yeah, so I gave this a 5 out of 10.
Really?
Like,
Huh.
yeah,
Oh.
it's again, it's not the worst thing I've ever seen. It is a horror movie. So like at Halloween time around then, like this movie's gonna be on. I'm probably not gonna really pay attention to it, but if it's on in the background, I don't care. But I would never willingly sit down and just watch this again.
No, never. I'm always doing something.
I watched this with Lily, and her thing was that the first one was so much better.
Mm.
She liked the first one more, and I think she watched the original Smile with me again, and she still said that was like more disappointing than the first watch.
Yeah, I made it.
She did watch
and then some. I don't think.
Yeah.
Guaranteed, without a doubt, there's no universe where I'm ever hard focused watching this movie ever again, unless we're revisiting it on the podcast sometime in the future. That's just a guaranteed. 100%.
How much you say it made, Zach?
125, but it cost 28. It made its money back and then some.
It's probably gonna make a sequel again.
No, I don't know about that because the other one made like a shit ton of money. Like it made like an insane amount of money.
Yeah, but it's quadrupled it.
That doesn't really mean much in today's landscape.
ROI,
I'm not gonna lie. No, the
ROI
ROI is.
There's no marketing that was put into this, bro.
It's always double. Regardless, it's double. No matter what, they always put at least double into it. The first Smile had way more than double into it because they did crazy marketing for Smile 1.
Yeah.
Honestly, they probably wasted a lot of money on that. But marketing is a lot more expensive than you'd think it is for a movie. It's essentially the entire budget of a movie.
Why don't they put that into the budget? Why are they just like?
It's usually for tax reasons. It's some sort of like separate thing.
Thanks,
I'm not. I don't know. That's Skylar's ass. That's
the
Skylar's
government
group.
loophole.
That's not my group. There it is. Yeah. Okay. We've been talking about this movie
Um,
way too long.
the
Let's go into the
the
next segment.
Mediac average was a 6.83, so a 7.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
I mean, in all honesty, something tells me I don't like that being that high up, but it is pretty close to what the number I was between, so I can't get upset about it. I don't have a whole
Yeah.
lot of news, which is good. Kind of sort of good. There's a bunch of new trailers coming out. Captain America, New Thunderbolts. I didn't watch the New Thunderbolts because after the first trailer, I'm hooked. New Captain America trailer looks more interesting than the last Captain America trailer. Uh, I don't know. That's all my opinions on that trailer. We're getting an Ice Age 6, which is interesting. And Macaulay Culkin, the guy from Home Alone, has joined Fallout for the second season. And Chandler, I
That's
did
gonna be
remember
exciting.
to talk about Call of Duty Black Ops 6. There is a
Yeah.
bunch of stuff that was added. I don't know about multiplayer or campaign. They don't probably add stuff to campaign. But they added a couple new guns. They added Fire's Breath attachment to shotguns. And dude,
Whoa.
it has broken your shotgun, the semi-automatic one,
Yeah.
because the Fire's Breath links with elemental upgrades. And if you put, I watched a video on it as I was driving home from work today. If you put the dead wire, is it called dead wire still? The lightning
Yeah.
one on your
Yeah.
gun, and the dead wire connects into another zombie, it lights them on fire, and the fire is so strong that it basically insta kills zombies. So you could shoot one zombie, and the lightning will shoot out to all of them and just kill the entire horde in one
Yeah.
shot. It's crazy. And then since you're using Fire's Breath, it does more damage to the manglers, and it kills them like way faster. It's crazy. I'm
Have
very excited to hop in and use it.
they decrease the mangler spawn rate
No,
past round 30?
no,
I heard it's like
but
exponential.
is it? They did decrease it.
No, I'm saying that their spawn rate as is exponential.
Yeah, it's
Like,
crazy. I honestly kind of like that because it makes the game a little harder, and I like making it too easy of a thing. I
I
think
just don't, people complain about how it doesn't scale right. It's just
I don't know if I agree with
I've gone
that.
rounds. I've gone like 10 rounds without seeing a mangler, and then I'm told round 30 you see
Yeah,
like 20.
yeah. You get one on like
Weird.
11, you get another one on like 13, and then you get two on 15, and then it's kind of inconsistent from there. That's not true. There's some sort of consistency to it, but I haven't figured it out yet. I guess that's a good transition into what we watching because me and Chandler have been playing a lot of
Well,
BO6
I
zombie
have one
rules.
question
I have one
before.
answer. Okay.
Chandler, what was your question?
Well, I have one piece of news.
Okay,
Go
go
for it.
ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Lego Horizon came out.
Right. And
Oh,
Chandler's making a
Walking
video on that.
bucks. So
That's
I might
fucked,
be
by the way.
waiting. I told myself I'd get it day one, and I was adamant about it. But like for 6 to 9 hours of gameplay, no, I'm sorry. I'll wait
$60.
till it's $50.
They're trying to
I'll pay 10
greed
bucks on it.
out all of that money out of the parents of children that are
It
going to be
could have been
buying that game.
70 though. It could have been 70 because I know Star
Don't
Wars
you
is 70.
fucking dare give them an inch on this,
I'm just
dude. The
I am just
corpos do
saying
not. Corpo does not get any sort of credit for not making you spend $10.
for being at 60, I would have expected to be lower, like kind of closer.
Yeah.
I was hoping 40, but like why'd they stop at 60? Why not just go to 70 at
For-
that point? Like that's what I don't understand.
That's fair. That's a fair thing. But for a 6-hour experience, like $60 is insane.
Yeah,
Mhm.
which is why I'm kind of like boycotting it. But
That's fair.
I'll get it. I might try and like Black Friday's around the corner. I'm sure I can get some sort of deal on
Yeah.
something.
I
then
mean,
maybe I
Amazon
can-
has their entire week of Black Friday starting on the 21st.
I don't
Ooh,
know
that's
if I
good.
like that anymore.
Yeah.
I
I'm
wish
gonna get
Black
books
Friday was
off
still
of
Black
it.
Friday, to be honest.
I don't want to go out. Also, a lot of stores are just doing Black Friday for this entire month. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't like that, bro. I don't like that at all. At all. Because they do
Why?
it like
Makes
3
it
times throughout the
easier.
year.
Yeah, it makes retail life like way easier.
I guess it kind of does. I guess because yeah,
It
spreads
spreads
the
out the
work.
business for the entire month
Yes.
instead of all one day.
But I
Yeah.
don't think the real deals are actually now. They're still on Black Friday, like the good ones, like the actual.
I'm just
like,
being
core
honest. For
event
at least
deals.
Ashley, no. Like it's all the same, and every place in the mall. About I don't know every place, but a lot of the ones that are within the circle are the
I guess I
same.
was thinking more of like like a Walmart retail, like
I
that
guess
sort of
Walmart. Yeah, I don't know about
retail
you.
is
I don't know
buying
what
them.
Walmart does.
I just don't think they're like they've been having Black Friday now, but only online in stores now for like 2 days, and
Mhm.
then it's not. Then it's back to Black Friday in like 10 days from then. It's just so weird, bro. I think it's just too much.
Mm,
It's too much. They
I
already
don't
they
know.
already did like Black Friday in summer, like they do that, you know.
Oh yeah, they
The
did do that.
Amazon
Yeah.
Prime days throughout the
I don't
year.
mind that though because that means I get cheap books, and I already
Yeah,
have a couple lined up. I'm looking for. I'm gonna show you the game I'm thinking about getting next. I'm
yeah.
pulling it up real quick.
I'm not a
Actually,
total hater, but it just does
you know
kind of
what?
like
Just for the sake of keeping the podcast at a reasonable length tonight, I'm not gonna do that, and we can just talk about it while playing video games some night soon.
yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good. All right, Skylar, what were you gonna say? What's your question?
Zach, what have you been watching?
Fuck, dude, I can't believe you just asked me that. That changes everything. So I haven't been watching a whole lot. We're still making our way through Wayne. We have 2 episodes left. It's a great show. It actually is a great show. I can definitively say that now that I'm almost done with it. Really great. You should watch it. YouTube original. Um, I've been watching a little bit of One Piece with my mom. She's making her way through Punk Hazard. I'm trying to de-filler as much as what we're doing with everything, but it's a little hard because the anime is interesting with how it does everything. Because like you can't just shorten an episode because like 10 seconds are smaller here, and if you decided to skip each 10-second mark, you're eventually just going to have the exact same amount of time that you end up skipping or something like that, and going through it, it's complicated. I just wish that they animated it correctly the first time around and they don't need to do a reanimated version of it, but I don't
More
know.
money, more
Yeah,
money,
more money.
infinite money glitch, bro.
More
I guess
money.
well, not
Facts.
necessarily.
And like I was saying, Black Ops 6, and then I started rereading Seven Deadly Sins, but more like reading for the first time, kinda. Because,
You've
like,
watched, haven't read, right?
yeah, I watched all Seven Deadly Sins, and then I read from the point that I stopped watching at onwards. I'm just reading it now from the beginning, including um, the first attempt at Seven Deadly Sins, which I didn't know existed, and it's a 60 chapter, I mean, yeah, 60 pages chapter where it's like the first draft of what the author wanted Seven Deadly Sins to be, and it was really interesting. It was cool seeing where it was and then where it went to. Interesting. I like
Where
it.
are you reading it at?
Just on my phone, just some sort of stupid
Mobile.
website
Oh, okay,
for free.
sounds good.
I ain't paying for shit. Yeah, that's it for me. I think One Piece, Seven Deadly Sins, Wayne, Black Ops 6. Lots of Black Ops 6 and YouTube, basically.
So I have another question.
I have another answer, maybe.
Chandler, what have you been watching?
It's funny you asked me that.
I
Before
fell
I
for that
answer,
twice.
I had to ask you a question. When you were watching this movie, I know you had the watermark. I
Yeah,
didn't have the watermark, but it was all in Japanese subtitles.
Dude, me too.
I
I had the Japanese subtitles. Yeah.
couldn't remove them. I went to different websites, different servers, and it was there. It was
Really?
all there.
I
I
tried that
couldn't wait.
too.
You
I
had it
just
too,
gave
so you
up.
had
I
the
was like,
watermark
fuck it. I'm
and the
doing this one.
subtitles.
No,
For
I only had the watermark.
See, I wonder.
really, for any homies out there listening to this podcast, the illusion that we're at right here is that we pirated the movie. All three of us did
No,
not
it's
waste.
not. I watched it in the theater.
Hey, don't say that. We're allowed to say it now. We're
But
promoting
you had a
pirating
watermark
because
on the
you had a watermark in the theater.
Okay,
But streaming services are getting too bad, and we like movies. Go support movies, except for horror movies.
I did support the movie, so
No, like
check
mine
it.
had like a literal watermark on the camera. Like there was a droplet.
Hey, let's go. It was just dripping the entire time,
I bought a screen.
just like your
Have
cheese, Skyla.
I got a
Drippy, bro.
projector once, and it was breaking on the inside, like water droplets were somehow inside
Ew.
this projector on the lens. Some I don't know. It was weird. I don't even. It's been so long since
He
then.
doesn't
But
even know.
to answer your question, Scott, what have I been watching? Um,
He's such a
I've been
funny boy.
watching ReZero. I started that show.
Interesting. I've been interested in that for years.
I heard it's good,
Me
but
too.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm hella bored right now.
Really?
The first 2 episodes, like all the episodes are an hour long, so it's like a lot.
Whoa, they
And I don't
are?
yeah, they're all an hour long.
That's
Or maybe
crazy.
15 minutes, something like that. It's like they practically put 2 episodes into one. I think the titles always split by a slash, so it's like 2 titles. So
Mm.
I guess it's like one or two in one, but the premise is interesting. It's different. It's like an isekai that knows it's an isekai. Like it's weird. Um, I don't
It's
know how to make
meta.
it is meta.
Hmm.
Like the main character knows he's an isekai. He knows that he's supposed to be super
Well,
powerful, like that sort of
oh,
thing.
okay.
Like he's
I feel like
it's like
most of
where's
them
my
know they're isekai, but not a lot of them know they're supposed to be the
Mm,
guy. You know.
okay, yeah, you're right. You're right. Actually,
Yeah.
I guess I said that
No,
poorly.
no, no, no. You said it fine. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have been nitpicking what you were saying. I feel like
well,
an
he keeps
asshole
saying
now. God
things
damn
like,
it.
where's my I'm supposed to be like a savior. I'm supposed to save a damsel in distress." He keeps saying things like this, like, "Where's my fame? Where's my magic? Where's my powers?" He actually calls it out, like, where is all of this standard isekai elements? Like
Interesting.
it's hella meta essentially. Um,
Love that.
but I think I just give it some more time because I'm told it's good.
Hmm.
Tried watching Tokyo Ghoul for like 2 minutes before I passed out last night. So I'll be getting
Read.
into that. Huh?
Yeah, read it.
Read
The
Tokyo Ghoul.
manga's way better. The anime sucks.
Really?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh,
It's one of those ones that, like, season 2 is not the same.
Yeah. Well, so
things the
so
same.
what he means by that is there's Tokyo Ghoul and then there's Tokyo Ghoul Re and the
I'm talking about,
Tokyo.
like, the second half. Like, after, like, a certain point, it just doesn't follow the manga, I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
that's what I was gonna say. So the first season of Tokyo Ghoul follows kind of Tokyo Ghoul the manga, but it skipped like an entire half of it. So it covers the first 3 volumes and then it skips 7 volumes and then it covers the final 4 volumes for the first season of Tokyo Ghoul.
The fuck?
And then the second season of Tokyo Ghoul covers Tokyo Ghoul Re, which needs the 7 volumes that skipped. So whenever they went to go to the anime, they just were like, "How do we do this? We're just gonna adapt the manga straight up, and whoever watched the anime, well, fuck them, I guess. They're just gonna have to find out somehow all this
Here's the
information that they
warning.
needed."
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Good to
So
know.
definitely read
Yeah,
it.
definitely
Much
read
Wow.
it. It's
better,
a
yeah.
very good series, though. It's a really good
Very good
series.
read.
Yeah.
It's so deceiving because like I get sometimes those Instagram reels or just not necessarily the reel, like whatever slide. I don't know what you
Yeah.
the post, whatever, it's a post. And it was in there as like top 20. So I was like, okay, intriguing.
People like it a lot regardless.
Known.
Like my friend Tyler, it's still one of his favorite animes. I mean, granted, he doesn't really think much when watching things, but like
Yeah.
I'm just being honest. Tyler, I love you. You're gonna be honest with me. If you're listening to this right now, Tyler, you know I'm right.
He just vibes and
Yeah,
enjoys.
exactly. So like he
Okay.
loves it just because the guy's depressed. Like that's basically the only reason why he likes it, essentially. So
So
if
is
you're
it,
going in for vibes,
if you don't know the manga, you don't know any better, right?
no, you just
Or is it
so
like very apparent, like
no,
things just don't make sense?
it's like you're missing information in the second season. Like
Yeah.
you don't have that information at all because they never covered it and acted like it never happened in the first season. And then in the second season, you're going into it and the show is expecting that you know all the shit that happened in the manga when it
Mm,
never happened in the anime.
okay. 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 All right.
Sorry for
Well,
ruining
I
that
guess
for
I'll
you.
put some thought into it and decide what I want to do. Entirely just skip it and move on to something else or do the
Yeah,
manga.
maybe.
I
There's
think you
tons
should
of
just pick it
anime
up
out
as
there.
a manga.
Would that be
Yeah,
your first manga ever?
yeah, it would be.
I'd say
That's a good
don't.
one to start with.
Well, no, because the drawings are so beautiful and intricate, and it can be confusing sometimes. I'd say definitely do like something One Piece that's simple, and then you can get used to reading manga, and then you can get into that.
Okay.
Because
I
I
just
don't.
haven't
I
read a book in
firmly believe
forever.
that Chandler
Okay, life
is
with
smart
it.
enough to
No,
figure
he's
it out.
super smart, but like it's different reading the opposite way, and also and
Oh
going
yeah.
from animation to images, like seeing how they move from one to the next and figuring out like the movement of characters. It's complicated. It's different. I'm
I
not
mean, that was
saying it's
my first one.
I'm not saying it's hard. It actually was one of my first ones too, being honest.
Yeah,
But
it was my first one. Didn't have any problem with it.
no, okay. I,
Do you have to read from the bottom up or like
no,
fully
it's
right
right to
down?
left. Yeah, right to
Okay.
left and then back.
Yeah.
Okay.
It like certain books, well, if you like go back too far, it explains
Yeah,
how to read it.
Okay.
Yeah,
yeah.
you'll be
Not
fine.
I
too
see what you're
bad.
saying. I see what you're saying. Okay.
Chandler, is
Well,
that
last
everything you? Oh, do you have one more
two
thing?
things.
2 things.
I've been playing Cult of the Lamb. It's actually really fun. It's really fun. It's a little no, it's still fun right now. It's still fun, but it reminds me of that game I was playing. Zach, do you remember how I had that monk, like
Yeah,
the
I love that game. Save the
and
world
all
or
those?
no one can save the world or something.
Yes,
Yeah,
nobody can save the world, something like
yeah.
that. It's very similar. I'm sure it's probably the same producer. it's a very similar art
Yeah.
style and like just like the dialogue that goes on. It's really it's really cool. Like you're in a cult, you're the leader, and you actually get to be hella evil. You get to
Mm.
sacrifice your own followers, and they still adore you. It's really weird.
Dude, we
I was
should
thinking
not
like
give Chandler any power. Holy shit, dude. What the fuck?
it's just something that
And you could
you don't see
sacrifice
it.
people, dude. It's sick.
I've never seen a game like this, and it really embraces it.
Right, yeah.
It's like use them, take
Kill them.
everything
Kill these
from them.
people.
It's
You're
really
my
like that.
puppets. Yeah.
So I'm enjoying the story so far,
That's great,
and the
yeah.
gameplay. And then the last thing I want to say, which is kind of sad, is Tower of the Gods season 2. It is butt cheeks right now, absolute butt
Why?
cheeks.
What happened? What the fuck?
It just slowed. It slowed down, and now it feels like
Maybe it's because you're not watching it all in one
it's
go, you know?
maybe, but I'm tell you that these past few episodes have been kind of slow, and it's kind of like reminding me of One Piece Dressrosa, like how they would fight in that arena. There's lots of that going on right now. There's lots of arena fights, and then like just sliding frame, and
No, we're
just
getting the blue lock
yeah,
treatment. No,
I was gonna
god
say
damn
I'm
it.
very familiar with sliding
it's
frames.
kind
No,
of
the
like
blue.
it's not nowhere near as bad as Blue Lock, but
Yeah, I've
Thank
been
God.
watching
Holy
Powerful
shit.
manga.
it's just upsetting to see how where it's gone from
Yeah.
and
Because
how it
it's such a
started in
great
season
show, the
two.
first season.
It is, but
What
it's
can you do?
whatever. Yeah,
All right, is that everything?
that is it.
All right, Chandler, we're going to do it at Skylar in unison. Ready?
Okay.
3, 2, 1. What are you watching? You did terrible. Skylar,
I
what
didn't
are you
know.
watching? Skylar,
I
what are
was
you
gonna say
watching?
Sky. We were gonna
Skylar,
say
what are you
Sky.
watching?
We have a
Skylar.
question for you. That's what we were supposed to say. I thought that's what we were
Oh,
saying.
okay. I was just saying, Skylar, what are you watching? Whatever, fuck it. Skylar, what are you watching?
Um, so me and Lily are still watching My Hero.
Nice.
We're still very close to being caught up. I'm still watching One Piece now. I forget what I was on last time, what like episode number,
What's going
but
on
I'm now.
in the episodes? Sorry.
Um. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I had to
Yeah.
make sure. I love how
Um.
you have the Discord stuff. It
So
doesn't
what
happen to
is
any of.
happening?
No, Chandler, do it. Put the thumbs up.
I'm Skylar.
I know. I want Chandler to do thumbs up. I want because you do a thumbs up right now, Skylar. Do it. Okay. Okay. I don't. It's okay. Never mind. I thought I had it. Keep going. Where are you at in One
Okay.
Piece?
So, Zoro is on the bridge and he's fighting the one, um, like person who's like a thief and
The
collects the
swords.
swords and
Yeah.
has his sword, and then the other person came in with like the girl with the really big smile, pink hair, and one other girl, and I saw that fight with between I forget his name. It was like Hito Ama or
I don't
something.
know.
I forget his name. It's harder to remember names now because I don't see them.
Yeah, that's
But
fair. Did Zoro get stabbed?
fought him. He has like
Oh, I shouldn't
the
have said
yeah,
that. He did. You
yeah,
watched
it
that
is.
fight where he?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
that's great. That's a guy, by the way, that he
That
fights
was
against.
awesome. Yeah, it was very good fight, very good animation, very glad. Um,
You're
it felt very rewarding watching that. I
That's
almost
fair.
stopped it to show Caden because I was like, "See, it's not that bad all the time." And
Yeah,
then,
you just have to watch 1,000 episodes, bro.
yeah, so I'm on 935. That's where I'm at. Um, I don't think I've seen the flashback you
No,
were
you
talking
haven't.
about yet. Didn't think so because there's this older guy that's like the flower guy
Mm.
that has hair, and it feels very familiar to the reason why I started watching the show, and I feel like it has some connection, so I'm paying extra attention to him and extra attention to, like, the world,
You'll
and,
understand the flashback. It's a good flashback. It's a
that's kinda
very
what I thought.
obvious flashback.
Yeah. See, that's what I thought, and
Yeah.
that's kinda what like, considering you said the flashback and Andre knew what you were talking about,
Yeah.
kinda thought,
Like honestly,
um
if you kind of go up to any One Piece person and you go like, did you like the flashback? They'll know what you're talking about, regardless of the season they're
yeah,
on. Because like
um
it's that kind of flashback, you know?
yeah, but that's where I'm at. I've pretty much been watching, like, 1 in the morning, and then 1 whenever I shower, and then 1 before bed.
Nice.
And then and then usually at the gym, me and Kane do cardio at the end. I'll put on an episode while I watch cardio. And then like that's usually for 10 minutes, so I still have half the episode. But then I'll shower again after the gym, finish the episode. So I'm right around like 4 episodes a day, trying
That's hot.
trying to get like completely caught up to where I want. But
Hawk 2, a
that's
cough on that thing.
bro, I can't stop.
Chandler, come back. Chandler, come back. Hi, Chan. Welcome back.
Hi. I had to plug my ears a little bit
Thing.
because I could just faintly hear some noise. So
Right.
just be safe.
The only part you missed was I started coughing, and Zach said, "Cough Tua and cough on that thing," and then I trying to cough said, "I can't stop," and then I muted because I couldn't stop.
Skylar, what else have you been watching?
I'm still 2 episodes away on Hell's Paradise, still 2 away.
You're gonna
Chandler's
get beat up
angry.
next time you come to the podcast, and
Um,
you've only watched. You still have 2 episodes left on Hell's Paradise. You're gonna get beat up next time.
Okay, there's one more. So after one of the tournaments, I had Andre over, and Lily was over as well, and Kane was there. And I think Lily was taking a test, and me and Andre were
Kissing.
doing My Hero impressions, but
Same
like
thing.
the fan base impressions
Oh, so it actually was kissing. Okay.
to Caden. And we were like, Caden, do you know? And then we said a YouTuber's name. And he's like, no. So we put on a like 2.5 hour stream of it, and we watched it for like an hour and a half of just pure brain rot.
Why is this?
And
why is this something
I
you're
don't know
saying
why.
as if you're proud?
Because Caden, that was the hardest I've ever seen Caden laugh.
No way.
Yeah, it was hilarious. And I honestly can't believe it. But I feel like I had to mention I watched
I mean, you
Brain Rot
watched it
an hour
for an hour
and a half.
and a
It wasn't
half.
even that. It
That's
was
a movie
yeah, we
sleep.
watched 90 yeah, we watched a movie on Brain Rot.
Was he laughing from the
Essentially.
beginning, or do you have to like warm up to it?
Oh no, he laughed throughout the entire thing. Like it wasn't even like he was like drinking too. He was stone cold sober. Stone
That
cold.
makes so much sense for him too.
It was really funny. But oh, what else have I been watching? That completely threw me off track. I did not know I was gonna be mentioning that.
I'm happy you did.
Thanks. I've been playing a
Got
lot
you,
of
brother.
Sparking Zero. I've been playing some Fortnite and
I've
playing
been
some
thinking
FIFA.
about playing Sparking Zero a lot.
Yeah, you should.
I know I should.
Ready.
And get my ass stomped because I haven't played it in 2 weeks, and you guys have played consistently.
Vaguely consistently,
Right.
but I'm now the meme out of that because I'm only good with one person.
Who?
But
Chaozu?
No, he was my meme, but now I'm terrible with him. I don't know what happened.
Oh,
I had a miracle
sorry.
run. I've been playing a lot of Dokkan still.
Of course.
Yeah,
I did 500 stones on the Heroes banner, not because I didn't get the cards that I wanted, but because I wanted more of them.
I didn't do any. So
Goku's
I'm
crazy, actually. Goku's actually crazy.
Don't believe it.
That's fair. If you have him linked up with the Xeno Super Saiyan Goku, that's a combo that's like the universe.
I mean, the one is the universe tree.
That is
so
true. Yeah.
I would hope.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they don't have enough health.
Yeah,
and
they don't.
they're gonna be outdated in like 2 months anyway.
You could use Goku. Basically, he doesn't have very hard restrictions.
Yeah, but he's gonna be outdated in like 2 months because he's gonna get power crept.
I disagree. Well, every card gets power crept. I just like this one, so I'm happy with it.
But I think this one's gonna be a hard power creep.
I don't know about that. Guard and 50% damage reduction, that's hard to power creep. Guard and... Shut your fucking mouth right now. What 2 you are on this planet is going to get power crept harder? I don't even want to have this conversation right now. Because I know Skylar's just going to keep staying on his side because he doesn't like the Heroes units, and I like the Heroes units. Regardless, I would admit defeat.
I don't think it's just the Heroes units that are going to get power crept. I think it's like all of the cards from this year are going to get power crept. It's like, you know how they do every couple years? The last one was the 7th anniversary. Now it's the 10th.
Yeah, this one was probably going to be pretty big.
Yeah, it seems on pattern that this one's going to happen. So I'm trying to save extra.
I hope it doesn't, because
I hope not either, because I like a lot of the cards I have.
Also, a steady increase is way better because it doesn't fucking kill the game instantly.
Yeah, but playing a lot of that, and then there was something else that I have been watching, and I just cannot remember it for the
There is
life of me.
something else,
Oh,
bro.
I'm caught up with Daima, caught up with Blue Lock. The manga's pretty cool, Lock, I guess. It did not get any better from the U20. I can't say that. We watched pretty much an episode.
Told you,
Did not get
brother.
better. Um, and then Daima is really good. Daima
I've
looks really
heard
good.
it's really good. I'll get onto it eventually. One of my next break days in the upcoming days.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm dying. Sorry, big yawns from Zach over
I
here.
would. Everything's pretty good. One more that's not really what we watching, but I caught a illness somehow, some way.
Waited to the end of the
And
podcast to make this announcement as he's been
yeah,
coughing the
I might
entire
as well.
time.
It's the lifestyle portion.
Yep.
Don't know when it happened, and I just randomly like got it, and then I've just kind of been stuck with it. And it's not like it's like oh so terrible like the flu or anything worse. It's literally just congestion, like nose, throat, and then I'm just toast because I can't talk. Like that's just it.
Have you tried looking
Yeah.
into that a little bit?
No, I actually can't see here.
Oh, okay, that's
Um,
sorry. That's a good
yeah.
point. I didn't think
What
about
is it?
that
I
one.
did do like the flashlight thing to see the back of my throat and see if there's
Right.
strep,
Okay.
and I didn't see anything. So,
That's good.
I'm thinking it's just like, the time of year changing, congestion, and then just like
Yeah,
how
I
I
think
sleep.
so many people are
Right.
sick too.
And
So,
I'm thinking that we should go to sleep now. Because that'll
well,
help with your cold. And I'm tired.
can I say two
That's
more
fine.
things?
Yeah, go ahead.
I picked up Retro Bowl. Been playing too much of that,
I don't know what that
and
is.
it's
Oh,
like
oh
a
wait, we
Like
talked
a
about
phone
this last
game.
time. We literally talked
Yeah.
about this last time, and I said
Mixed
this
version.
exact same
K-pop.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but also Sky. What can I? What more can I say about Sky? He influenced me a lot over this past weekend, and I want to be just like him. So instead of getting an illness, I got an injury. I don't know.
Oh, that is true. We have a matching one.
Oh, that does
Mine's
not help
almost
at
healed
all.
now,
You
but
cannot see. Anyways, my whole arm is bruised. I had a goose egg here. It
I'm
was like
sorry,
the
Chan.
size of a golf ball
I'm gonna
on
sneeze.
the weekend.
Hey!
um,
Hey!
yeah,
Oh my
Chandler, I
god.
keep going
I just died.
back and forth on mine on whether I actually chipped the bone.
Bone? That's like
Because
I
right
promise
here
you're
is
being a
like
hypochondriac. It's still there, bro. It's still there.
Guys, what the
mine.
fuck?
Yeah, you just dented your bone, bro. That does not happen. You're
No, I
fine.
didn't dent it. I think I actually
There's
like
no way
chipped
it's
it.
missing either. There's no way. There's no way.
Can we just end the
I'm telling you,
podcast?
Who knows?
this one's so
His
different.
bones like are his bones here, bro. That's why you're sick. That's why your throat hurts. Your bones made it
Yeah,
taller.
that's where my extra
Yeah,
elbow
his
bone
bone
went.
went from his elbow
That
to
makes
his
sense.
throat. It does
No,
make
no, no,
sense.
no,
It
no.
does, yeah.
I swear to God, it like I either have like a bone contusion where I bruised the bone, or like
Dude, the
I
Mediak
chipped
gang
part of my
does not
elbow.
need to hear about this.
Bro,
They
they need
care.
to know I have less elbow than the average person right now.
Why do you... All right.
That's
You
not fair.
you
That's not
now
fair.
have
They keep
all of
taking
your
it.
quarrels out for the week. Now that everyone in
No,
our
my
Mediac squad,
elbow.
if everyone in the Mediac squad already knows that you have a small elbow, are you okay
No, it's
now?
not small. It's just I have less. I have less elbow. It's not
So it's
smaller.
smaller. You have less elbow. It's a
No,
smaller elbow.
no. It's like, do you know how when you take it, do you take an apple,
Oh
you
my...
take a bite of it? The apple's overall not smaller. It's just there's a piece missing,
The afro.
and that's my problem.
We don't have to talk about the fact that you're wrong with what you just said right there. We can just
I don't care. It's not smaller. Don't say that.
Okay.
Tell me it's normal.
You're normal,
Tell me it's
Skylar.
normal.
It's normal.
Please tell me it's normal.
Skylar, or do you have other quarrels out for this week?
No, I mean my elbow hurts, but that's pretty much it.
Chandler, does your elbow hurt?
Yeah, it does a little. It's a little tender. It's still
Okay.
tender.
I'm ready to end the podcast now. I'm really sleepy. All
That's
right.
fair.
I guess we'll see you guys next week with the Santa Claus, the first Santa Claus. All right. Goodbye. See ya.